Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Welcome to my last city update video for a little while. I know that I haven't been good about actually updating you guys, but this thing has changed a lot since I last made one of these, so let's get right into the differences. I don't even know if the train track was completed the last time I made an update video, but it's finished now. It loops all the way around the city, and then over here it's got a slight rise, or I guess a dip, because it travels this way. It goes over the Web Warriors bridge set. And I'm sorry for all the mess around the edge. I'm leaving for school tomorrow early in the morning. And so this was just like my last ditch effort to get everything cleaned up before I leave. I thought I would have to take my entire city down because I thought that we'd have to get new carpet in this room while I was out of town. But luckily that is not happening. Otherwise this entire assembly would have had to have been moved somewhere else, like just dumped in the laundry room. I did build Assembly Square and I put it next to the Palace Cinema. I thought it might look a little bit cramped there because I've also got my tunnel, which I've got a separate video about that coming out. I've got the tunnel around it, so I thought it was going to seem really cramped, but I actually think it's okay. I still don't love having a huge town square like this tucked in around like the corner of the city instead of in the middle, but Assembly Square is just so big I don't know where else to put it. And that is my tunnel. I am very proud of it. I built like a little hill out of like green big ugly rock pieces, and I designed a train station for the top of it, and I'm really proud of it. It has enough clearance for larger vehicles like the camper van to go through, and I have filmed a separate video about that, so that'll be coming out very soon so that you guys can learn how to make your own. Moving over to the right, where it is a lot better lit because it's closer to the door that lets all the light in, I have modularized my Sanctum Sanctorum. No, I did not completely rebuild it to be a modular. I just made it fit in on the base plates. Again, separate video about this coming out soon, but what I'm most proud about is that you've got enough room for it to open out into a corner unit. Because I'm so indecisive, I couldn't decide if I wanted it closed up or open. You've also got a nice little strip of single lane road that leads to the back. Now, the back is, once again, where everything is temporary. So I've got the hospital there. Don't know if that'll move. Over to the right, I've got the Lego store and a little Chinatown made up of a couple of those Monkey Kid side builds. And then in the center, I have a very small park, which is not finished at all. That poor little woman has fallen over, and now she's fallen over on the other side. But the plan is to have a little park there. I want this to kind of be walking area only with enough room for the ambulance. And then, of course, everything is flanked by the giant Marvel towers. So I really like what I've got with Avengers Tower. I am going to be redoing this display a bit. I want to have Tony, Cap, and Thor fighting Thanos with Endgame Carol once I get that minifigure coming at him from above. And then I'll have either WandaVision Wanda over there as well, or I'll just use the Civil War version. I did like a dry run of that display with the figures that I had on hand, and it was amazing, so I'm really excited to set that up. I might also switch out comic book Thanos for the new Thanos, but that's kind of beside the point. Avengers Tower isn't like concretely placed anywhere yet. I'm not going to put it on a base plate because I think it'll be too much work to kind of like rebuild the ground floor. But I do want to at least move it up against each other. The only things that are connected here are the modular buildings, and then stuff like the tunnels only attached with a couple of studs. And then you'll see that I've just got really basic plates and tiles joining everything together. The reason for that is because I want this to be able to be picked up easily. Like, I don't want to build the modular buildings out onto the base plates because I know I'm going to move in like the next like 2 or 3 years. So I want it to be really easy to just pick everything up. So if that like recarpeting in my house was going to happen, it would have been annoying, but it would have been fairly easy to pick everything up. The only bad part would have been the train track. So what I like best about Avengers Tower's placement is that you'll see that Assembly Square has a really small alleyway back there. So the idea is that you'll go through the alleyway, and then I want to build like a little gated area for the front of Avengers Tower, so it won't be easily accessible. You'll pretty much only be able to get to it from that little alleyway, and then I might have like a little walking path towards it. But I do kind of want to wall it off a bit because, I mean, the Avengers are celebrities. Even though the ground floor of my Avengers Tower is like kind of a museum educational center type thing, I don't want it to be too easy for just any civilian to walk into it. And then, of course, we've got the Daily Bugle, which I never did a review on. Sorry about that, guys, but I am not too heartbroken over that because this would have been so annoying and hard to review because it's so tall. And I did do like comparison videos and stuff with it, so I'm pretty happy about the videos that I did make. This thing looks amazing in my city. I was afraid that it would take away from Avengers Tower because it's so tall, but honestly, the Bugle's like tower height pretty much maxes out at floor 7 of my Avengers Tower. So I've still got 3 full floors of my tower before you even get to the roof, whereas like a third of the height of the Bugle is coming from that antenna and sign. So while it's an amazing display piece and I love all of the villains fighting it, I'm really glad that it doesn't detract from my tower. I actually think it accents it pretty well. I like how the tower is like mainly dark bluish gray with light bluish gray highlights. And then I like how this set is mainly light bluish gray with dark bluish gray and red highlights. I think that they look really good together, and I'm just happy that the Bugle, it doesn't like pull focus. I think that it makes it better, because honestly, my city, now I feel like my city would have looked a little bit odd with just Avengers Tower being the only tall building. I do have the police station left to build. I don't know where I'm going to put that. I was thinking of putting it between the tower and the Bugle, but then I probably won't have any space for my hospital unless I could like squeeze it behind Avengers Tower. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to play around with stuff because right now I've got those 3 kind of freestanding structures. But I would really love to have the police station in the center. I think that it would join the tower and Bugle together really well. And, you know, I think it would just be nice. Assembly Square in the center would be like my dream, but there is just not enough room here to do that. Like there might be barely enough room to fit Assembly Square in the middle, but then the Bugle would be like all the way over to the right, and I don't think I'd like that very much. I think I like it where it is, although of course I can always change my mind and rearrange things in the future. It's just that I probably won't be doing any more city work until December 2021, and even then I'm not sure because I'll only be home for a month, and I'm sure that there's other stuff that I'll want to do as well. Lastly, I want to try out a train demonstration. The last time I showed this to someone that came over, it derailed around where Assembly Square is now. I think I fixed that, but also I've never tested it out with Assembly Square in place. So we'll see, because you'll notice that area of the track, sorry for the shaky cam also, but that area of the track is all flex tubing to get like the necessary angle because I needed enough clearance around Assembly Square. So let's just test it out. It does rise a little bit over the bridge as well, which is why it's going a little bit slower. And it's running into a roadblock. Okay, I'm hoping I fixed the issue. I don't know what it was. I think maybe like that curve just got a little bit messed up, but let's try it now. Okay, so I think that worked pretty well. It did do a few full loops, but I think it's still scraping on the wall there, and I can see a mark on the wall from where I think the train has been like pushing against it. I don't know why that's an issue. I thought I had sorted that all out like back in May is when I did the train track. So I'm kind of disappointed about that. I'll have to play around with that more in December, because that's why I'm not sure I'll keep working on the city when I get back from school. Because I've got my major projects done. I did the track, I've got all my modulars in. The next step is going to be building the police station, but after that I have to get really into the nitty gritty, like designing that park, filling in those white spaces back there, making walking paths, and the nitty gritty is where I start to lose a little bit of interest. I mean, that tunnel, you'll hear this in that video, but that tunnel took me like hours and days and everything to design, so while I really love doing custom work, it can be grueling and take up a lot of my time, and there's just always so much going on in life right now that I'm not sure it's what I'm going to want to devote time to when I'm home. But thank you guys for following along with my city updates. Another one will be coming soon, guaranteed, just maybe not for the rest of 2021. But the earliest you can expect one is kind of late December, because I won't be back till like December 20th. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys in more videos soon. Bye for now.